If you don't know me, my name is Matt Ellis. I am the director of Key Club International, and I will ask a few of my colleagues to introduce themselves. You're going to hear from them later tonight, but I'm going to start with Laura and Melissa. So Laura, why don't you go first?
Hi everyone, I'm Laura Holloway. I'm the Key Club Program Specialist, and this is about, I think this is my fourth year working at Kiwanis International.
Melissa?
Hi, I'm Melissa McMahon, and I am the Service Leadership Programs Education and Training Administrator, and I've been working with Kiwanis for 4 years as well.
Great. And is Michelle Shelton on with us?
I am, but it's a little noisy here, so I'll just say hello real quick.
Great. So Michelle Shelton is the person I report to directly. She is the program director for Kiwanis Youth Programs. And then Michelle Studi Campbell.
My name is Michelle Studi Campbell. I've been with Kiwanis just about 6 years, and I'm the executive director for all of our Kiwanis youth programs and service leadership programs. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. And we're going to get going on what is going to be an awesome call on a Monday night.
So we're going to hit you with a lot of information tonight. It's just going to be sort of surface level. This isn't a call designed to answer every detail of every nuance of every program. But we do want to just give you, as the school year is getting started and going into October, just want to give you an overview of some of the projects and programs that we have coming up. And certainly you can drop any questions in the chat. Once I start running the slideshow, I won't be able to see those, but Laura and Melissa and some others will be able to answer those questions for you. So just feel free to drop those questions in the chat, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So let me start sharing my screen here. Okay. Okay. So hopefully you're all seeing my screen, yeah?
Yep.
I'm going to turn this over to Michelle Studi Campbell to get us started.
All right. So again, Michelle Studi Campbell, I'm the executive director for all of our service leadership programs and Kiwanis youth programs. And naturally, we all know Key Club is by far our largest program. So I'm going to talk a little bit about numbers and where we are. For the last 6 years, we've been really talking about making sure that we had high value in our programs, making sure that we keep them updated and relevant for today's students and advisors' needs. Couple that with consistent communication and outreach, the growth and retention will follow, and it has. And so as we look at 2018, that's kind of our touchstone where we talk about pre-pandemic norms. And so versus today, if you look at the total charters and reactivations for the same time period, you'll see we're well ahead of both new charters, right? So that's that 390 number. 636, we're still reactivating quite a few clubs. That's slowly coming down. But as we enter our homecoming year, right, with our big 100th birthday, we're going to have some special opportunities to bring back as many, see somebody in the chat asking if we should increase members' dues. We want to bring back as many clubs as possible. And so we'll talk a little bit about that in the coming weeks, but we're going to have opportunities to add more and more Key Clubs to the Key Club family. Just real quick, if people are curious how we're ending the year, right? Today's the last day of the Kiwanis year. Circle K Internationals down about 7% over last year. Key Club is up 5% over last year. I saw in the chat a couple people work with Builders Club. They're about 7% down as well. K Kids up a little bit at 3%. Action Club, the club that took the longest to kind of come out of that pandemic space, is up 12%. Looking back to 2018, Key Club International is the closest to getting back to 100%. We're probably going to end the year about 95% of pre-pandemic numbers. Circle K International is still in the 70s there with Builders Club. K Kids pushing over 80. in Action Club, again, a little bit more challenges coming back out of the pandemic for Action Club, but they're making up for lost time there. They're having a great year. And then just some information for our survey. Just type in the chat if you and your students participated in our now annual survey. We'll be doing this again in the spring. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to give you a little bit of information, some insights from this past survey, and we'll be, again, repeating this. But 91% of our student participants agree that Key Club is fulfilling our mission. We will take that 91% and build on that we are an international student-led organization, and I think that's a good number. 89% agree or strongly agree that Key Club offers opportunities to enhance leadership skills. I love this piece. 94% feel safe at Key Club events, and 88% believe that Key Club is having a positive impact on their high school experience and really changing the culture within their schools. And then when it comes to skill development, we ask lots of questions, but the top skills, and they could choose multiple answers, right? But leadership, relationships, building relationships and networking, boosting confidence. And this is something we see across all 5 of our programs. And we're really proud of that we help boost student confidence. And then effective communication, which is critically important for any organization. And we are coming up on our 100th. Precisely on March 23rd is our birthday. And so we are still putting together kind of the nuance of the plan, but we'll have lots of details and information roll out starting Friday, December 13th. It's going to be a lucky day for us. It's 100 days to the 100th. The actual 100th celebration party is going to be in Orlando, Florida, in conjunction with the Key Club convention. So I hope everybody plans on joining us. And then we're really going to celebrate from March 23rd this year, coming year, 2025, through the next year. And so we're going to do that through fundraising, a lot of opportunities to reminisce and look at our past to look forward to our future, right? So what are some of the great milestones that Key Club has accomplished? So right now, we're really doing a lot of fundraising. We have the 1925 Club with a gift of $1,925. You can provide more access for students, and we're going to have special events, a commemorative pin. We're actually working with a publisher now on a Key Club 100 Years coffee table style book, a lovely memento of this celebration. We will be asking clubs to participate in the 100th birthday campaign, and that will be in March. Where we're asking every club to raise and donate at least $100 to secure the next 100 years of Key Club. And we're asking all the Kiwanis clubs to match that as well. And so we'll be sending communication not only to our Key clubs, but also the Kiwanis clubs that sponsor them. And then we're going to have a series of alumni fundraising events. Just to put in the chat, if you're an alumni, we'll make sure you're connected to the alumni network. And we're going to have lots of events throughout North America talking about the 100th, re-engaging those alumni, and really just seeing what people are up to. And thank you, Marcia, proud alumni. And so we are going to have a 100th anniversary party in a box that people can put together. We're going to have a couple for each district that they can share and pass around for events. And then we're working on how we can make that available for purchase to clubs as well. As I said earlier, that commemorative coffee table book, we already have a special collection in our retail department that you can buy and get a great Key Club 100th anniversary t-shirt or polo or notebook. We have some fake Stanley cups that the students were loving at convention. And then we'll have special events around convention. We are planning an event the Tuesday before convention begins. That'd be July 1. And so if you've got ideas of what we're missing or what we need to be putting an eye towards and planning around, by all means, drop something in the chat, or you can email me. We'll make sure everybody has my email.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk just briefly about the dues deadlines, just making sure that everyone is aware of this. Coming up, early bird deadline is November 1st. If you pay your dues early, you are eligible for some incentives. One is a banner patch, and then you can also get a chance to win a Key Club gift bag or a hotel room for your club for the duration of the convention, which is July 2nd through the 6th. But you have to pay your dues by November 1st in order to qualify for that. The regular dues deadline is December 1st. And then the late dues deadline is February 1st. After that, your clubs go into suspended status and things of that nature. But nobody here is going to have that because everybody wants to qualify for early dues. So no worries there. Now I'm going to turn over to Laura Hallway. And what Laura did not mention to you in her introduction, but I think is important for you to know, is that Laura is a huge asset on our staff, not only because she's just a terrific team member in general, but she also acts as a former faculty advisor and a current Kiwanis advisor to a couple of key clubs. And so all of the issues that you guys experience, Laura sees them first off and often gives us a heads up on things, or is able to say, hey, this might cause some problems for clubs. And so with that, Laura, because she does it a lot more than the rest of us do, is going to take us through a quick overview of the Member Update Center and paying dues and that sort of thing. Laura?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Excuse me. You got me choked up here. Just kidding. So yeah, I wanted to go quickly over the Membership Update Center. And this is for Key Club advisors, you all, but it's also for club presidents, secretaries, and treasurers. So first you log in, you head over to keyclub.org/MUC, and you'll use your email address to log in. If it is your first time logging in, you'll just click set your password and follow the steps. It's very easy and quick. Then you get to updating your membership roster. Once you're all logged in, select the Membership Update Center tab on the left-hand side of the screen. You can see it there with the arrow. And first, on the dashboard, you're going to update your officer's contact information. That's your president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, webmaster, class directors as well. And after that, on the next screen, you're going to be able to see where the president, secretary, and treasurer can log in and update the actual club's roster. So what they do, and you can do this as well, is go to the members tab up at the top of the screen. You can see that there. And on that page that loads, you'll select the edit button to update any contact information as you need, add new members, delete the members who have left. And an important note is to not delete the entire club's roster. Only delete unpaid members or people who are not returning to the club. If you delete the whole roster and upload everybody as a new member, you jeopardize the members' eligibility for all of the Key Club benefits, including scholarships and awards. So that's an important note there. Also, an important note, we asked you to use the personal Key Club, personal email address for your Key Club members. That's just because most schools have a filter on the emails from external addresses and they get blocked. So they don't receive the bi-monthly newsletter. And just so you know, all of the information that is put here, the contact information, is only for Key Club purposes. It is not used anyplace else. So once you've got your roster updated, you can send in the pay by credit card, pay by check. On that screen right back, you'll go click member complete, generate invoice, print invoice, and then go to the finance tab. And this is really where the advisor should take over from here. So on the finance tab, you just select the invoice, choose the payment option. And if you're sending in a check, print the invoice and send it along with that to the address on the invoice. It's also written there on the screen. I think that takes care of all that you need to know about the payment of dues. Matt already went over those deadlines. I'll just add that if you do find yourself suspended, you just need to pay dues to be reactivated. And if it has been more than a year and you can't get logged in because the club has gone inactive, then you'll email us, and I can put that email into the chat here, and we'll get you set up. So next, after you get all those steps done, you get your member materials, and those will be automatically shipped once you update your invoice, update your roster, and pay your invoice. If you pay after December 1st, though, we'll have some dates that we will send them all out at once to save on shipping. So those dates are January 15th, February 28th, April 15th, and May 10th, depending on when you pay the dues. So that takes care of the logistics and those important things. I see a question in the chat, and if there's a tutorial for this, I mean, this is pretty much your tutorial, but all these steps are listed at keyclub.org. I'll put the website in the chat. It's keyclub.org dues-reporting. And that takes you through those steps I just went through. If you have trouble with any of it, you can reach out by email or give us a call. And I'll give you the email that goes straight to me, keyclubinfo@kiwanis.org. So if at any time you do have questions that you'd prefer to ask one-on-one, feel free to send us an email at that address, and you can also just click reply to the newsletter that you get twice a month in your email, and it will go straight to me. So now the fun stuff. So it's this time of the year that you need to focus on growing your club, adding new members. So we have a couple of resource links on the screen. The link on the left is basically this webinar, the presentation, and the topics that we'll cover here. The link on the right highlights the resources that will help you start off the service year. And you can access these QR codes by using your phone, just act like you're going to take a picture of the screen, and then the website should pop up. Select the link, and it will take you straight to the website on your phone.
Yeah, let me also say that we are recording this, so you can review the recording later, but we will also post the slideshow online as well. So you don't need to worry about taking notes and writing down website addresses and things like that. We'll make all this available for you on keyclub.org.
And the slides are up on that website on the left-hand side, that link there. They're up there now if you need to follow along on your own device. So let's see. So for the October resources, on the next slide, we'll go over the recruitment resources that you have available. These are especially helpful for new clubs. I saw a lot of people who are new advisors as well, but they're also helpful for everyone. I recommend you use the personal invite, the posters, flyers, and videos that we have listed in the resource center. And they're already created for you and ready to go. So Matt, do you want to play the video?
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah, it's a great video. Features some Key Club International board members from just a couple of years ago. This is a fairly new video, and we'll show it to you real quick. It's very short, but can be helpful for you as you think about recruiting other members.
When it comes to making an impact, everyone has something to contribute. A desire to make a difference. The potential to be a leader. Maybe even a vision of a better world. With so much to offer, the question is, where can you put it all in motion? For teens, the answer is Key Club. Key Club International is a service organization for high school students. People who want to make a difference in their schools and communities, and build leadership skills that last. With over 200,000 students in thousands of clubs in nearly 40 countries around the world, members are doing those things right now. Raising money and awareness for clean water, tutoring students in need, increasing awareness of mental health issues for students, and more. In Key Club, each service project is chosen by club members and conducted by club members, because each Key Club is led by students. From running meetings to holding key positions, it's the members who make it happen, and each member is inspired by Key Club's core values. Leadership is grounded in humility and service to others. A true leader listens, recognizes, and empowers. Character building is built by everyday acts of kindness, integrity, and teamwork to grow stronger relationships and communities. Compassion for others is a cornerstone of the Key Club experience, inspiring action and service to one's community. We welcome people of all backgrounds and ethnicities to join in serving and making a positive difference in our world. After all, there's nothing like connecting with people who share your values. And with Key Club, you'll find them. From your club's local service to Key Club's international convention, you'll get unique opportunities to meet students from around the world, working with each other, learning from each other, motivating each other to new levels of impact, making a difference that lasts a lifetime, in yourself, in others, and in the world around you. Get started today.
Yeah, so Laura, is there anything else on this slide, or are you ready to move on?
No, I think we go on to the next slide. So yeah, once you've grown your club, you need to strengthen your club, and we've got the resources for that as well. And so I'd like to highlight first the officer guides here, and these guides are available at keyclub.org/officer-guides. So students can access them anytime and they can't lose them. Even though officer training is generally done from February to say May and the spring of the year, officers should be using these guides all year round to stay on track, and you can check back with them throughout the year and just talk about the topics in those guides. On the next slide, you'll see that we have an advisor guide for you as well. This is available online as well at keyclub.org/advisor education. And this will help you maximize the service year. It's got a monthly checklist that I find particularly helpful for staying ahead of the game. And the sections on Kiwanis support, what to expect, ways to develop leaders, and improving service projects are extremely valuable. So you can also order a printed copy if you need to by contacting our member services at memberservices@kiwanis.org. Just send them an email. We're also excited to launch the new advisor training courses online. These include Introduction to Service Leadership Programs and Key Club Advisor 101. We gathered feedback from both advisors and our district administrators. That was to enhance basically the advisor handbook. And so this kind of goes along with it. So on the next slide, let's take a look at the breakdown of the courses. These are 20-minute courses, and they are a deeper dive into what is covered in the member handbook or the advisor handbook. They come with PDF downloads that are helpful and reference links that you can use. You can access these courses anytime and as often as you need on the same website that you enter your membership roster. So it's keyclub.org/MUC. And that you'll find those under the education tab. So another great way to help make sure that you have a strong club are helping with the meeting agenda. So we've provided you with some sample and timely meeting agendas these are extremely helpful for new clubs, new officers, but they also can help with experienced offers. They cover topics like creating an inclusive environment, practicing civic engagement, but the basics as well, icebreakers, committee reports, old business, new business, and making sure they address the next steps. So let's, before we go on to GLC, let's see if you guys are there here. I see some in the chat that we will fix that recruitment resource link probably by the end of this call. We'll get that fixed right away. But first, I'd like to see if you all use the meeting kits and add that into the chat if you are using them, or just raise your hand. You can raise your hand by clicking on the reaction part of your screen at the bottom. If you put in the chat, just maybe let us know which agenda topics that you found most helpful.
Where can we find the agenda topics again?
Those are, I believe you can find them at keyclub.org. They are on the main website that we started with, but let's see, keyclub.org/meeting-kits.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Teresa. And Carmita? Oh, I'm sorry, you're raising your hand. I see. That's great. Well, I hope that now that you know about these, that you will take advantage of them. And I see some of you that have officers making their own kits. Their own agendas, and I love that. I think that's the majority of clubs, but consider taking a look at those. A lot of the open-ended questions in the meeting agendas can be helpful to consider as well. And I think that's all.
I think somebody has their hand raised.
Oh, I asked them to raise their hand if they use the meeting kits. So.
Oh, okay, no question.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I raised my hand because I do have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
And you had mentioned a website for the advisors resources. It was keyclub.org/, and I didn't get the rest of it.
Advisor education, all one word.
Oh, advisor education? Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, I'll pass it off to Melissa to talk about another great way to strengthen your club.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I am excited to talk about, so as part of the role of the SLP education and training, we have created in partnership with student feedback. We did research to try and identify what are some of the education needs that the Key Club members need, and we came up with a course catalog of 40 courses, and they are based on the 3 core values of Key Club: fellowship, leadership, and service. And we've organized them into 12 different competencies. And so these are courses that students, as long as they're an active member in Key Club, this is free for them to use. You might have someone who is a freshman or sophomore, and they're, once you get in, they're really excited about Key Club and they see the benefits of being an officer. So they might want some more training, or you might even have someone who is a seasoned leader who is interested in developing their skills a little bit more. So we have online courses that students can take. And Laura, if you want to go to the next slide, each of these modules, there is a PDF handout. There's a quick video that was filmed with previous Key Club trustees. These are the career building and personal development skills. As you can see, some of them are soft skills, some of them are hard skills, and we have continued over the last 3 years since we rolled this out to work with our international trustees and their programs and partners to get their feedback on these different courses. But if you go to the next slide, how students can access this. So you as an advisor can also access this, but you can see on the left-hand corner, it's kind of small, but this would be like the me page of a student, and you also have this. So someone asked in the chat, they're not seeing the advisor courses under the education icon. Unfortunately, the education icon is not connected to this learning management system. Kiwanis is in the process of building out a new system. And so that was disconnected a while ago. So if you are interested in those advisor courses, or even to view the GLC courses, you can click on a URL link that says, click here to access advisor, chaperone, or global leadership courses. And so the courses are just an easy click on the orange button to view the course, and then it plays. Most of the courses are about 10 to 15 minutes for students. And like I said, there's PDF downloads that they can work on. And some of the courses are related to communication or connection. And if you go to the next slide, Laura, here's kind of a little bit more diving in a little bit more deeper. So some of the course names is the power of community connection. So there's an opportunity for, student Key Club members to do a community assessment, or how to implement a networking plan and what does that look like. And on a couple of them, there are like self-reflection questions that the students can answer themselves, or even a quiz just to kind of test their knowledge. And the students do receive a certificate. And if you go to the next slide, Laura, we are really excited to say that we have almost 3,000 Key Club students that have enrolled in this over the last few years, and completed 35,000 courses. So, and there are over 600 Key Club students who have completed all 40 courses. So the more students that complete these courses and see the value and share the value, you may have seen our different advertisements in the e-news, newsletters, or even social media posts with more information, students giving testimonials about how these courses have helped them develop their leadership skills. So as Laura had talked about, there's officer guides online. These are the types of skills, communication, some hard skills of strategic versus technical, planning, or how to network in your community, that are really valuable to our Key Club members. So another area is that the students can do it individually at their own time, at their own pace. But if you want to offer it as a club, like, hey, let's do it like kind of as a book club, or let's all do the course on facilitation. Maybe one of your meetings you have for programming, you're like, let's learn more about how to be a good facilitator versus just someone who, gives a presentation, and then talk about and discuss it maybe as a Key Club. You could also buddy up and suggest maybe, 2 or more of the Key Club members take a course together, and they could, or at least, sign in on their individual computers, but take it at the same time, and then talk about it. And that could also be another way to get creative with the Global Leadership Certificate.
All right, we're going to turn it back over to Laura to talk about Youth Opportunities Fund. Laura helps coordinate and evaluate all of those grants that come in. And so this is a great way for your club to get some easy money to help support your service projects.
Yes, it just keeps getting more exciting here. So this Youth Opportunities Fund grant is the deadline is coming right up, October 15th, and it closes at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So the grant application and all the resources that we're going to talk about are available at keyclub.org/YOF. So basically, this grant's aim is to increase the impact of your club's service projects. So I would really encourage encourage you to help your club in applying. Even if they don't receive a grant, The application process itself is valuable and a great learning experience. It teaches them how to plan for high impact service projects, including the timelines, the budget sheets, just reviewing the rubric that we use to evaluate the applications will highlight the importance of things like collaboration with community partners and conducting a community needs assessment. So going over some characteristics of successful applications, those that demonstrated a need through research and evaluation in their community, and they support it with statistics and defined problems. So they have a detailed timetable as well with a budget sheet, and that paints a clear picture for the what the project is really like. And the application is, you can tell it has been reviewed from an outsider's perspective. So make sure that you're explaining any insider terms like names, acronyms, that kind of lingo. On the next slide, we'll see some do's and don'ts. So I would recommend that you work closely with your students, and this will ensure that the application is a collaborative effort. And that make sure that you've included the evidence from the community needs assessment, as well as that budget sheet and timetable. Avoid waiting to the last minute. You know, students, they tend to do that. And keep in mind, you can save the progress and return to it as you get logged in on your application. So I'll go over the funding timeline next to make sure that this timeline works for your project. We do have a second deadline that is a similar timeline, but it begins in April and ends in March. So this first cycle opens up, it's already open, it opens in July and it will close October 15th. And the applicants are notified in late November. Then if you get the grant, you all as advisors must complete the letter of agreement, and that will allow you to receive the funds. And the funds can be sent to your school or your club account or your sponsoring Kiwanis Club, but they cannot be sent to an individual. You'll have 1 year to complete the project. So the final report is due in December the next year. So if you apply now and get the grant, the final report with all of the receipts that cover the purchases made using the grant funds, those would be due in December 31st, 2026. Sorry, 2025. So I'll pass it back to Matt and talk about another important program.
Yeah, so of course, October starts tomorrow. So we are very excited about Trick or Treat for UNICEF. This is a long time program that we've used to support one of our most important partners. You all know that we've done such great work with UNICEF on behalf of some of the other programs in the past. Right now, the program that we're supporting is Start Strong Zambia. This program helps us start what are called ASACAs, which are early childhood development centers. And let me see if I can, sometimes this stops. Yeah, so let me just show you a very short video about that initiative, just so that you can have a better understanding of just what exactly those dollars are supporting now.
Hey Key Clubbers, my name is Aria Miloberti and I will be in the upcoming Netflix adaptation of All the Light We Cannot See. I am the newest UNICEF supporter and I'm currently in Kosovo visiting an early childhood development center. I hear that you are all supporting UNICEF's early childhood development work in Zambia. During my time here in Kosovo so far, I've gotten to see the direct impact and learn how these ECD centers are supporting children. I'm so excited to hear that Key Club is supporting these programs too. These programs empower communities and support their youngest members. Thank you so much for giving children in Zambia a solid start at life so that they can grow up to be passionate young leaders just like yourself. I can't wait to see the difference you make, and I am honored to be supporting UNICEF's work alongside you. You're amazing, Key Clubbers. Now, go change the world. Hey, Key Clubbers.
All right, and then I have even more exciting news for you. I know you guys are probably saying, how can this keep getting better? But it just does. It just keeps getting better and better. Many of you may remember that we used to have trick-or-treat boxes, and that would help Key Clubbers as they would go door to door or go to businesses to ask for UNICEF support. We got rid of those during the pandemic for a period of time, but we have heard loudly the cry to have those brought back, and so we have brought them back. So you can order those in the store today. You can just go to the link at the bottom of keyclub.org, click store. You can just search, I searched for boxes and it popped right up, and you can order these. The boxes themselves are free. You just pay for the shipping. So we're excited to have that back to help support Trick or Treat for UNICEF. Also coming up, if you, especially for some of our newer advisors, Key Club Week is, of course, the best week of the year, November 4th through the 8th. And so every day of the school week, we have different activities. And on the website, we have a bunch of different suggestions for those activities. But you can see there the different themed days, and the kids really get a lot of a good kick out of celebrating Key Club Week in their schools. Finally, for my part here, the Global Engagement Rally is Saturday, November 9th at 11 a.m. Eastern. That I think is 8 a.m. Pacific time. You can get more information at keyclub.org/GER. The Global Engagement Rally is something that also came out of the pandemic year when districts were unable to hold their normal fall rallies and things like that. We wanted to still maintain that sense of community in Key Club, and so they started the Global Engagement Rally. This year, the focus is going to be largely on civic engagement and how to advocate for issues and causes that our students might support. So there's going to be a wide variety of topics in that Global Engagement Rally. And for our international students as well, I want you to know that we are being sure to include workshops and information that is not just US centric, but really applies to everybody everywhere. So you can sign up at the link there. I'm going to turn it back over to Melissa McMahon to talk about youth protection.
Thanks, Matt. As all of you are working with the youth in our programs, we want to remind you about Kiwanis youth protection policies and just how important it is to make sure that the youth are, that the teenagers are safe in our care, whether that be when they're engaging from adult volunteers to students or even from student to student. So from the international level, at the international board, we have Kiwanis youth protection policies with the main goal of protecting and educating, protecting our youth from predators and empowering and educating the adult members with best practices when they're working with youth and how they're interacting and appropriate behaviors and following policies. And so the ways that we work to do that, and as part of that is training as well as having access to policies and procedures, background checks. Background checks are required from all of our advisors and chaperones, all of our Kiwanis advisors, and those faculty advisors who are off school grounds. But that is one way that we can screen out any potential predators. And also culture of care is one of our main areas, and that is a way that we can educate and train our students to prevent abuse or bullying or inappropriate behaviors from a peer-to-peer standpoint. So this is just a brief, if you want to go to the next slide, this is just kind of a brief overview about youth protection policies and where you can find more information. We have on our website, Kiwanis, Kiwanis.org/youth protection. you can find these different resources. So on the left is our policy and procedure document. If you're a Kiwanis member, we ask that on an annual basis from October to September 30th, that each Kiwanis club reviews the youth protection policies, either the document on our website. We also have a slide deck or even a recording, a 30-minute recording to kind of go through. And so it's just really important that we model good behavior when in appropriate boundaries, relationships. And so our policies, we talk about chaperone ratios, social media policies, transportation. So those are available. And then also on our website, there are past recordings, and next week is actually Youth Protection Week. And so we will be doing some live webinars, and we have a web link on that website for Youth Protection Week that you can register and sign up for live webinars. Another opportunity for training we have is Presidium Academy, our online courses through our partner Presidium Inc. And we require that administrators, district administrators, as well as Kiwanis chaperones complete courses online. So depending on your role, there may be requests for 6 courses to be completed or 3 courses. So on our website, we have more details and more information on how to access those courses, but those are more related to interacting with students. So we have our policy training of what Kiwanis policy requires, and then the Presidium, there's examples on safe social media practices, or being a volunteer and how to mitigate risk in supervision. And then another opportunity we have for prevention training is at the Kiwanis annual district conventions, our annual international convention. I always do a youth protection workshop, and then an opportunity like this at our Key Club advisor, and even in person at Key Club International Convention as well, just to remember that prevention or education is a prevention tool. One of the things that I did want to keep in mind, I know that fall rallies are coming up. A lot of you are planning those to attend those events, or you might even have, if you're at the district level, you might have a district board level or a board meeting coming up, or Key Leader is another opportunity. It's a wonderful education and training opportunity that's an overnight event in many districts coming up this fall. So wanted to just kind of remind you and highlight that as part of youth protection policy, there are chaperone ratios. So making sure that when it's a single day event on school premises, that there should be at least one background checked chaperone to 50 student members. So that might be, if you're on school premises, that might be the faculty advisor may have a background check through their school. If they are staying on school premises, their school background check is sufficient. But when there's a single day off school premises, we ask that faculty advisor, and definitely that Kiwanis advisor, that they have the chaperone, at least one chaperone to 50 members. So those events where you have a fall rally, maybe you're attending it at a zoo or a amusement park. We have that in policy, but it is definitely recommended that you have 2, 3 more and look at what your school requirements are. That you have more than that if possible when it comes to chaperones. And then when it comes to overnights, like I said, that Key Leader event, or if students are staying overnight at a board district, is to have at least one background check adult per 10 youth that are staying overnight. So whether that adult is a faculty advisor, Kiwanis member, advisor, district administrator, that it should also be one adult male to supervise no more than 10 youth males, and one adult female to supervise no more than 10 youth females. So those are kind of related to not only background checks, but also the chaperone ratios. So as part of prevention, and also there's the intervention standpoint. So if you see something inappropriate between a adult member in the community, a adult Kiwanian, if you hear something, maybe a school administrator or students, you hear them on a chat, or they've talked about some inappropriate behavior that someone made them feel uncomfortable or touched them inappropriately, we definitely ask you to say something and to report it. So we have our helpline is a 1-800 number. It is 1-800 in the United States. I think you can in the Caribbean and Canada. You can call it, but it is 866-607-SAFE. And so definitely if you're having events off school grounds, or even if you are on school grounds, put this in your phone. This is staffed by those, the Presidium Inc. partners that we have that are trained in triage of reporting abuse or inappropriate behaviors. We always say if there's some illegal behavior, contact your local law enforcement. If there's some inappropriate behavior and you're not really sure if it's a policy violation related to the Kiwanis policy, call the helpline. And we ask that you call sooner rather than later. So as soon as you hear about it or know about it, they can give guidance and follow up, and they report back to our youth protection team. And so then we would reach out to the parties that are involved, and a parent. If you want to share this number, not only with your Key Club members, they're welcome to call it as well, or parents or other chaperones if you are at an event. It's definitely we ask that people share it. And these are other good helpline recommendations. Following all your local and national reporting laws when it comes to any kind of peer-to-peer or adult to student abuse or any kind of allegation, follow the helpline next steps. And again, depending on who is involved, as appropriate, you want to contact the parents, guardians, or school administrators. But typically the helpline will give these recommendations as well. So I appreciate all that you're doing to keep our youth safe. And as we go into Youth Protection Week next week, I ask you to share this, go to the Youth Protection website page and find out more information and share it with your club members. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Melissa,
great. Thanks so much, Melissa.
We had a quick question in the chat. Do you need to complete the chaperone training every year?
So the chaperone training, yes, we do ask that on an annual basis. The Presidium courses that I talked about, those are, we ask that those are renewed every 2 years. The chaperone course, that's another course that is within our learning management system that you can access. That link that I shared earlier when you're on your Me page in your MOOC.
Great, thank you. Anything else, Laura?
Nope, that was all.
Great, thank you. All right, so we just have, thank you so much for staying with us, everybody. We just have 2 short topics left. The first one is a formal invitation to come to Icon 25 International Convention. We're going to be in Orlando, Florida, and I'm going to play for you a quick little video that we showed at last year's International Convention. But if you weren't there, I want to make sure you get the chance to see it. It's just a quick little hype video for you. So let me just play that for you quick. So all of these videos are available for you to use with your clubs, but as I said, the next convention is going to be July 2nd through the 6th in Orlando, Florida. You will note that that is over the course of the July 4th holiday. And in addition to our own century of service, we're also planning some special things for you to have the opportunity to take students to see the fireworks in Orlando if that's something you're interested in. So we've got a great schedule that we're building out right now. We're still in the early stages, but a lot of good work is going into it and planning a lot of special events for this 100th and some special guests as well. So I do hope that you will consider joining us. The best way to go is to contact your district administrator and to join your district tour. They take care of all the travel arrangements, put it all into one convenient fee, help take care of a lot of the meals and all that kind of stuff. It really is the best way and the easiest way to get to convention. And then you also get the benefit of traveling with other clubs, building relationships in the district, both as an advisor and allowing your students to meet new people. So they usually do a great job along the way of stopping and seeing fun attractions, things like that. So I do hope that you will consider joining us. Finally, Michelle Studi Campbell, do you want to talk just a few minutes about the Key Club Alumni Network?
Thanks, Matt. Also, in addition, I just want to add on the Key Club Convention, in addition to the district tours, there's always a way for schools to do their own trip, and we can provide lots of information regarding registration. But definitely, if you want some one-stop shopping, there's the district options. But if you have students who are working or have other trip commitments, we always find a way to help people get to convention, particularly this one. It's going to be really special. All right, let's talk alumni. I know earlier when I asked that question, we had a couple of hands pop up. So this is for you. Please just do it. Just join the alumni network. It's free of charge. It doesn't cost a thing. We have an alumni network for Circle K International as well as Key Club. We have networking opportunities, job posting, online events, a mentoring component that we're actually testing out with CKI this fall, and fundraising opportunities. Anyone can join who is a graduate. And then for our Key Club members who are currently seniors or, moving on to graduation, once they turn 18, they can join. And we'll have additional information going out to those, including some fun stickers and postcards with information for them to not only join the Key Club alumni, but to consider CKI in their postgraduate plans.
And if you're an advisor who, for whatever reason, was not in Key Club as a high school student, but you would like to join the alumni network, you're invited to join as well.
Absolutely. The more, the merrier. All right, we can go to the next one. And that's it. It's just that easy. Click on that QR code, sign up. We'd love to have you. We have alumni events happening in Chicago, Illinois, Phoenix, Arizona, of course, Orlando. We're going to be in Washington, D.C. So sign up. You'll get all the information. You can reconnect with alumni or as an advisor, learn what is happening in your region or district. Thank you, everyone.
Great. So with that ends our formal presentation. Thank you so much for being with us. I do want to just say that we do have a little bit of time if y'all want to ask any questions, or if you have something, either on the topics we've presented, or if you have something you just want to ask us, we're happy to stick around and answer those questions. But before we launch into that, I do just want to say that we know how important the work that you all do with our students is. And we know that while, we drive a lot of the programming at the international level, we really couldn't have a program if it wasn't for you all working with our students directly. And so just thank you so much for all the long hours you put in to support our Key Club program and our students. We appreciate you more than you will ever know. And I just want to make sure that we do not miss the opportunity to say thank you tonight. So thank you very much. If you have a question and you'd like to stick around, feel free to do so. If not, that ends our formal presentation. So At this point, I'll open it up to the floor for any questions.
Hey there, it's Lisa Stewart from the
Lisa.
Key Club of Monte Vista High School in San Diego, California area, Cal Neva. I just had a question. When I went to my MUC, I used to be able to access the global leadership certificate classes, and it doesn't show up in my MUC anymore.
Oh, okay. We will look into that for you.
Okay.
Let me drop Melissa's email address in the chat for you, and
Okay.
she can check.
All right. Normally, I would just sign in as the Monte Vista High School advisor, or I would sign in and I would click Monte Vista High School, and then actually, I didn't even go into the education tab. I would usually just click on the link at the bottom where it says click here to access online governor-elect training or Kiwanis Amplify.
Yes,
And
so actually, that is something that we're working on with our folks. So if you click on that access governor-elect or amplify, that will take you to the same. You should have access to the global leadership courses where if you click on that link, does it take you to it?
It just shows up. That's what I used to do. And it would have all of my recommended courses, including the global leadership certificate. Now all it lists is just Kiwanis Amplify, which I finished and I completed. So at some point in time, even when I click on my learning, it lists the Key Club Global Leadership Certificate Program, and it says I'm 50% completed, but that's not right. And when I click on view,
Okay.
it says course not found.
Okay, I will dig into
Okay.
that. Yes,
Okay.
thank you
Yeah,
very
so
much.
Lisa, I dropped Melissa's
Oh.
email in the chat. If you want to just make note of that, she can follow up with you.
Okay.
I'm going to try to catch up to a few of these questions I see in the chat real quick. One is from Chip. Is there a webpage that provides fundraising ideas for traveling to a convention? There is. We call it a sponsorship toolkit. Maybe Laura could drop the link to that in the chat for us. And one of the things that we encourage students to do is to hopefully provide 1/3 of the funding themselves, to get 1/3 from their local Kiwanis club, and then to raise the other 1/3 of the money necessary. And that is a strategy that works well for many of our students.
Yeah, in addition to that, our Key Club budget and Kiwanis Youth Programs budget isn't official yet, but we typically have scholarship opportunities for students. And then if you have students who have completed 20 or more courses in the Global Leadership Certificate, they actually receive a stipend and additional meals if they apply to be part of the master class.
And then Kathy Wilder is asking, how can a Key Club advisor find Key Club alumni in your community to help with current Key Club as advisors and mentors?
Great question. If you sign up yourself, then you will have access to other members within your district. And that's how, as part of the networking, you can put a chat in there and ask for volunteers and connect with those who are in your district.
What is the cost to register for the convention?
Our budget is not set yet, so we're not going to release that information for a few more weeks. But our goal is to have the basic information of registration, hotel information, and everything up right after trick or treat. So early November. My birthday is November 3rd, so I guess that's my birthday wish, is that we get the Key Club convention page up in time.
And then Marcia asks, as an advisor of a community-based club not affiliated with a high school, we love our community-based clubs, looking to try and connect with any other advisors who are also community-based club advisors. And I think that we could probably run a report of our community-based clubs and be able to get that to you, Marcia. So if you will shoot me an email, I will be happy to get that for you. And my email address is my first initial last name, mellis@kiwanis.org. Just dropped it in the chat for you. Laura's dropping a few different links that we've been talking about. Can we petition for an extension for clubs that have been charter revoked instead of rechartering? This is right up Michelle Studi's alley, I think.
So put a pin in that for now, but after our Kiwanis Youth Programs board meeting where they look at and hopefully unanimously approve our budget, we're gonna have an opportunity for charter revoke clubs to come back and much easier than they have in the past, for especially for the 100th. We want as many Key Clubs as possible back in the Key Club family. So hang on for about 10 days.
And then for Edith, she used to be able to see the Kiwanis membership in the club she sponsors. Now the school club isn't there anymore. Edith, if you'll just email member services, they can help you out with that. They'll be happy to restore that access for you.
Email, or there's a 1-800.
I think that I've caught up to all the questions now. Is there anybody else who has a question that we haven't answered? Did I miss any of them? Before I chaperone any Key Club event, do they need to take the course in my PLN? Melissa?
Is Melissa still with us?
Yep.
Before any chaperone, we ask that you take the Presidium, the 3 courses in Presidium. Primarily, we ask the online course for chaperone training. It is for the overnights. We created it for the icon. So if you're doing overnight, I think it's a great idea to go ahead and take it. I highly recommend it.
I wanted to just follow up on that, on the question I posted. So that's just for, so that's strictly for overnight events?
So currently it was created for the icon overnight event, but
Okay.
information is definitely usable from any type of chaperone.
Okay, and so this is available on a My PLN
So
program?
it is actually through the muck, and that's what Lisa I was trying to work on. I see Lisa has access to the chaperone course, but when you log into muck and you're on your me page, there's a link that should say access. It's basically, it's our learning management system link to open it up into a new web browser. And so it may, depending on your role, if you are a faculty advisor, it may just say advisor chaperones, but if you're a Kiwanis member, it may also say amplify, because we're using it for adult education as well as our youth programs education.
I'm a faculty advisor, so that's
Okay, yeah.
what I'm just asking. All right, thank you very much. So this is something that would be completed before a big overnight event such as the convention in the spring.
Yes, yeah.
So it wouldn't apply to a day event like a fall rally or something like that.
There's definitely tips and policy like
Okay.
talking about the chaperone ratios, but at this point it's not required prior to an offsite or a 1-day event.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify about how long does the course take?
Like 8 minutes, 10 minutes.
8 minutes. Okay. Well, no, I mean, you know, some courses I take for my district, they're a
Right.
bit more involved, is with like a big test afterwards, and we have to get 100%, or we.
Right. No, this is like reminders about dark hallways and bathrooms and students going to the bathrooms by themselves if they're like at an amusement or they're at a hotel where there are other other people around, and just making sure that as an advisor, as a chaperone, that you have eyes on your students and that kind of thing. Like, when they're being dropped off,
Yes.
what parents are picking them up so that they are safe and nothing happens to them.
Absolutely.
And also reporting, it has our helpline in there as well.
This may be really
Thank you very
basic
much.
information for you, Stuart, but we just want to make sure that everybody does have sort of a baseline of knowledge in keeping our students safe.
Oh, well, wonderful. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's see here. I see Evelyn asked if who can attend Key Club International Convention. It is open to all students who are Key Club members. They do have to be Key Club members, and then chaperones. The question is, can the advisor attend alone? I would really discourage that. We would want you to bring students with you, students from your club. And if you can't bring any students from your club, then I would really suggest that you offer to support your district and be an additional chaperone, because they're always looking for chaperones. So that would be the best case scenario there. Mary Rhodes says that she sent an inquiry about 3 high schools going away, 2 new high schools being opened. Is there any way to continue old memberships? Mary, how about you just email us offline about that one, because that one's pretty specific and probably needs some additional information. Angela, yes, the recorded version of this meeting and the slides will all be made available to you. And then for Teresa, she's having trouble finding where to add new members. Teresa, why don't you contact us when we're in the office tomorrow? We'll be happy to help you figure that out.